Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Oliz, and welcome back to Age of Engineering. In the last episode, we were working with industrial craft, trying to get the nuclear reactor up and running, and working on some other things as well, but mostly the nuclear reactor and getting this guy set up. So between episodes, I have been working on getting all of the uranium we need, so that we can actually, make the reactor work. And that should be the last little bit I'll need for a bit. Once we get more power flowing in, I'll worry about it more then. But as you can see, did some uranium stuff. The uranium processing worked just fine. The ore washing plant, eventually I'm going to need to get another reservoir over here and set it up underneath instead of using this, because I had to transfer it back and forth a couple times. Power was a bit of an issue, so I actually had to transfer these guys a couple of times. Like, I had to make another 2 semi-fluid generators and get a bunch of oil, which also led me to doing one other thing. So I also went ahead and made another fermenting barrel right here for the canola press, so that we can get more oil a little bit quicker and all that kind of fun stuff. See, what else did I do? I took my power line over there and got some stuff with the calculator mod, but not really much there. Been working on getting the Certus quartz, the pure Certus quartz seeds. We're at 17%. That's gonna take a while before we can get anything with that. We need the pure Certus quartz for, what was it? Let's see, we need it for refined circuit boards, and that is required for the control circuit for advanced generators, which is what we're getting relatively close to. Once our reactor is up and running, things are going to go a little bit easier with IC2 once we get the advanced generators. That's going to replace basically all of this stuff. We'll probably still keep the solar panels just as passive power, but the advanced generators will be our main power source for EU. Now we have all the fuel rods, which means we can put those there and get our quad fuel rods, and we can go ahead and throw all of this stuff in here. Now it should work perfectly. I shouldn't have any issues. Hopefully I put everything in the correct position. I'm looking over at my little schematic. I think everything's good. So once we turn this on, we'll have power. Now, before we do that, there's a couple things. One, I want to make a bunch more of these glass cables, glass fibers, these guys, and we need to start making everything to start producing UU matter. Now that is the primary reason that we have the reactor, and we're only going to hook up the reactor to the rest of our system just to power the MFE for right now. So this is tier 2. This outputs tier 3, I believe, which is, 512. So, because the thermal centrifuge is a tier 2, right? I don't want to blow up any of my machines. Yes. So tier 3 can go right here. Okay, good. So we can actually go ahead and put the Mass Fabricator here for the time being, and everything will be fine. So let's just get a bunch of glass fiber cables. It's not too unbearable to do. We need this energium dust. We're gonna need this energy crystal as well. Can we upgrade? No. Dang it. I was hoping we can upgrade the CESU. That is technically tier 2 power. But oh no, yeah, that is tier 2 power. So that is basically it would output whatever this guy does. It's an MV transformer. So yeah, let's get to work. So we're gonna start trying to produce UU matter today. That is the plan, anyways. So the problem with that is the Mass Fabricator does require a lot of advanced stuff. Specifically, these Lapotron crystals. We're gonna need 4 advanced circuits. But guess what? This guy is amazing and making Palace crystals and redstone crystals really easy, so we shouldn't have a problem. I hope we have enough for what we need. We'll probably need more redstone crystals. That's not too much of an issue. And let me think. How many are we going to need? So for the Mass Fabricator, we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to need 4. So 16 redstonia. We have enough. Awesome. So with that, we're going to need 8 empowered pallets. So we're good with that too. So perfect. The hardest part is probably going to be the rubber, actually, but we'll get to that in a moment. So before we do anything else, let's go ahead and make some glass fiber cables, and we can get rid of the thermal centrifuge. So we just need glass, silver grit, and energium dust, which I have some on me, so we're going to just go ahead and use that. We also need to crush up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. I should have some glass, and we'll need, what, 5 silver? 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so nothing too difficult here. Go ahead and do that. I think this will give us the crushed lapis that we need. Yes. Actually, let's just throw it in here because it's so much faster. It is so much faster. And I think sometimes we even get more. Yeah, we can get extra, which is whatever. It doesn't really matter too much to me. It is just kind of a thing. So let's grab a stack of sand. And while this is cooking up, let's go ahead and start working on getting more rubber. So we do need to grow some rubber trees. So here's some bone meal. We have plenty of bones, so it's not that big of a deal. I believe the rubber trees use an old version of Minecraft's bone meal code, so that they actually grow quite often. Just put them right over here. So it's just a single piece of bone meal to get that. And we have a sickle still, so can we go ahead and break most of those? Grab some saplings, and this guy is gonna break. Yeah, broke before I was done, but that's fine. Alright, so do we have... That guy has like next to none, but let's go ahead and chop down most of this tree. As long as we don't mess with this log, we'll be fine. So that one has that. That one has that one. Alright, so not many. We can chop down the top of the tree, I think. And... cool. So we can actually use these logs to make more stuff. We can also go ahead and grab a tree tap. And let's extractinate things. Some resin. Some more resin. How many trees we get? Oh, we got 10 saplings. That's not too bad. Let's go ahead and grow. We'll have enough for right now, I think. Because that'll give us 1. That'll give us 15. Yeah, that'll give us a good bit. If we need more, we'll deal with it later. Let's go ahead and put the saplings in here as well. We have a little bit of rubber already. We're going to need more copper extruded for all the circuits. So we need like 4 circuits. We're going to need a bunch of stuff. We don't have much copper. I forgot to go get more. Ooh, I hope we have enough. If not, we can go get more. It's not that difficult. So just throw that back in there, and we have a ton of glass. So now we should be able to make all of this glass fiber cable. So that'll be enough for a good bit. And we'll go ahead and throw this away, the glass back away, because we don't need any more of that. And I guess let's just start working on getting the Mass Fabricator. So for the time being, what we can do is we can go ahead and just take this glass fiber cable. We will use this eventually anyways. So hopefully we have enough to get all the way over here. And I'm just going to destroy that. Oh yeah, we have plenty. And I do believe we can turn that on, and it will start producing a lot of power. So much so that this will go up pretty quickly. And doesn't really matter what else we do. So we need to extrude some copper. And it's going to work pretty easily. Now I just want to make sure that this guy is not overheating. Everything's durability should kind of... These guys will fluctuate a little bit, but it should not go down permanently. So everything looks fine. Cool. So let's start working on all this stuff. So we need Mass Fabricator. Let's get rid of the glass fiber cable. We don't need that anymore. So we need, first of all, Labrador crystal, which is this and that. We're also going to need 4 circuits. Now, what else do we need for the advanced circuits? Glowstone. So we're going to need 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 glowstone. Okay, that's not too bad. And then a bunch of circuits. So I don't believe we have enough circuits. There is 11. We're going to need iron and redstone. We're going to need a lot of stuff for this. But it's not too bad. Hopefully we have enough glowstone. I believe we do not. I thought I went and got... Yeah, I do have more glowstone. Okay. So we should be able to just break some of this. There's 6. 8. This is loss, isn't it? Yeah, it drops the average of 3. Probably shouldn't have done that. I think we can grind it up and get more. Where is sag mill? Yeah, so sag mill should give us a good bit, even if it's not 100% going to give us 4. It should give us 4 on average. Alright, so we have some glowstone. We have... we need more copper. We do have the copper block. Let's go ahead and we'll unblock it so that we can use it. I will go mining between episodes because that seems to be a common thing that I'm going to have to do. And extractor. I forgot to grab the iron and all that kind of fun stuff. So a lot of things that I need to do. So we need 4 of these guys. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 2 more pieces. We probably could have used the actual, like, oh, what is it? The plates that we had, but meh. Let's grab some of this. Let's grab a block of bronze. We're going to need a bunch of coal dust, which, right here. Take 2 stacks of it. That should be enough to get... We need 2 advanced machine blocks, I do believe. So these guys we can cut up like 1, 2, 3. 3 of those should be fine. And we can start working on all of this stuff. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And oh, I forgot redstone. Let's go grab some redstone. We also need to go grab steel. We only need what? 8 steel. So it's not too bad, and I think everything else should come pretty quickly. So honestly, the Mass Fabricator is one of the easier of the like top tier stuff to make, but it's not the easiest. It's still a little bit annoying, and the most annoying part with this is just the actual like the advanced machine or advanced circuit boards. That's the worst part of it. So let's grab a couple blocks. Why not? Actually, we don't need that much. Let's just grab some loose redstone, and we should be good to process the rest of the stuff and get everything we need. So we can also get some more rubber. This is something I should probably do quite often. Just because of how often I'm gonna need a lot of rubber. But it's one of those things that's not that important. Okay, that one hasn't regenerated yet. This one already has. So, okay, we have plenty of rubber. Copper cables, we need 5. So that is taken care of. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and put that away. We have some iron plates already. We should have the rest of them in here. Let's go ahead and cut up a block of 10. There's that. We're going to need 2 of these guys. 1, 2. We're going to need these guys turned into plates. Let's see, we can put our circuit boards there. There's 4 circuit boards. There is the Lapotron crystal, and we can do this. These 2. And literally all we need is the 2 advanced machine frames. So let's see. We're gonna need 4 of the advanced carbon plates. So let's go ahead and just get a bunch of them. It's not that bad. That guy is basically full, so let's turn this guy off for right now, and we'll get back to that in a little bit. So we also need to make let's see, we also need to make advanced alloys. And so once this is cut, we'll have pretty much everything we need. And we'll have extra stuff, which is what I kind of want anyways. So there's 2. Let's grab our steel plates. We have all but one of those. So yeah, this is actually going just fine. Last steel plate. Our bronze is done, and so now we just have to wait on the actual, like, the actual compressing. So we also are going to want to make some recyclers. Now these are not that bad. We're going to need another circuit. So 1, 2. We're going to need another block of iron cut down. Let's take those out for right now. And I will finish processing this stuff later because it's going to be useful. And we might as well. So we're also going to want, let's see, we need a compressor. That's not too bad. And then glowstone, dirt, and more iron. So nothing too terrible there. So that is that completed. We can just make our basic machine frame. We have all of that. Actually, we're going to need to make the wires first. We almost have the 2 advanced machine frames. We have 1 of them. So yeah, we're just going to make a circuit. Now we're going to want more recyclers than this later, but for right now, just having 1 will be enough. So there is a compressor. We're going to need 2 pieces of iron. Did I actually bring exactly how much glowstone I needed? I need exactly 1 more piece of glowstone. And we'll grab some dirt as well because we need that for the recycler. So the recycler is a pretty easy machine to make. It's not that difficult whatsoever. And it's also pretty straightforward to... we're going to need a couple of them. So it's pretty straightforward to get, which is good. Glowstone, which is in here. We're going to break one of these. And take the exact one glowstone that we need. So one of these days I'll go get more glowstone. When we have flight, especially creative flight, glowstone is going to be really simple to get. So I'm not too worried about it. Well, eventually it'll be so easy it's not going to matter. So there is the 2 advanced machine frames, and we now have a Mass Fabricator. So we'll get to that in a second. Let's go ahead and get the recyclers up. Now the recyclers require less power. So we'll put the recycler there. And yeah, so how does the recycler work? Well, we're going to need some other things. We're going to need some pipes of some sort. I think we can use item conduits. We're going to want a chest. We're also going to want a... we're going to want another... what's it called? It's the thing that stores things. The fluid tank. We're going to want another tank. So let's go ahead and get that. Something like this, I think. And then glass in the middle. Yeah, so there's a fluid tank. This is going to be highly important. So to explain what we are going to be working on, it's pretty easy, actually. So let's see, we have everything. Yes, we can put our metals back, and we'll deal with everything else later. So this is where IC2 gets kind of dumb, and also kind of okay. It's gonna go really slow, and it's also going to be incredibly powerful. So first question I have is, can we actually connect this guy? Doesn't really matter. Will you connect? And will you actually feed into the right spot? So if I say always active, I'll just throw my stone in there. It should send stone in here. It does. Perfect. So, okay, what's a recycler do? Well, the recycler is actually the easy part. The recycler takes whatever blocks you give it, whatever item, whatever you give it. It does not matter one bit. And it recycles it. So what that means is pretty simple. It turns it into scrap, which is an item from IC2, which is useful in a couple of different ways. Some are more useful than others. So we've already got 2 pieces of scrap. You can use this to make fertilizers. You can use it as fuel. You can make scrap boxes, which are a little bit better, which are used for... You can use a scrap box to get a random item. You can get some good things like, I believe, couldn't you? Oh, no. You can get diamonds and ender pearls and stuff like that, but more often than not, you're going to get junk. It is a way, if you don't have any other mods, and it was an old way to get grass blocks, which could be useful, but it's not that great. And as you can see, it just takes power, it makes scrap, and that's it. It doesn't matter what you put into it. I'm just going to throw stone in there for right now because we're going to have a lot of stone from mining, so might as well. We're doing fine on power. We're about to not. So, alright, now we're going to get to the silly part. Eventually this machine will be moved. We'll have a little dedicated area somewhere, probably right here for all of this stuff. Because this room, which honestly, I might do something like this for it. Yeah, I think that this room will be the generators. We'll put a generator or 2 in the corners, depending on how much power we need. But this will be all this part will be all the UU matter. So let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. So yeah, I said UU matter is terrible. There is a reason I say that UU matter is terrible, and it's pretty easy. So the Mass Fabricator generates 1 millibucket of UU matter every cycle using a ton of power. And it generates 1 millibucket. That's it. So it's kind of terrible. It does get better later, but it's going to take a while for it to get any amount of better. You'll understand what I mean in a second, but let's go ahead and put it down, and it's going to automatically start. Now we can stop it if I get a piece of cobblestone and make a lever. And now it does save its progress, which is nice. So we just put this on here and save its progress. So as you can see, we're using a little bit for the recycler, but it's not that much. If we turn this on, we're going to be using a lot of power, which is why we have this guy. Now eventually I want this system to be separate from that system, but for now, because we're going to need power for all these other machines, we're going to live with it. And I actually want this to deplete completely so that we can get plutonium. That's kind of the idea. So now it's not decreasing nearly as fast, but it's still decreasing. Now, okay, so this goes incredibly slow, and it generates UU matter. And we can just put this on here, and I believe we can just tell it to pull, and it'll be fine. Now, it's incredibly slow. It's using power, and it's using just a ton of power. Well, how can we speed it up? Well, scrap. Scrap is the answer. If we put scrap in here, it will consume the scrap, and for a very short time. So if you watch, it goes up about 1% about every second. And if I put that in there, it just jumps. Now, I do believe that if we put scrap boxes in there, it lasts a little bit longer, 9 times as much. And there we go, we just got our first millibucket of UU matter. That actually lasted very long. So maybe scrap boxes is where it's at. 350. No, it should be 9. It started at like 4,000. Okay, no, I think it's about the same. It just doesn't feel like it. So as you can see, it goes very, very slow. The more scrap you give it, the faster it will go, but it is incredibly slow. Now eventually we'll have a lot of systems whose sole purpose is to make a lot of UU matter. And that is why UU matter is terrible. Now why it's good is UU matter can be used for making pretty much anything. And it's not like buckets of UU matter usually. It's usually like, for example, I know something that is kind of typical is iridium is about 120 millibuckets for a piece of iridium. Now that's not like the greatest, but it's not bad either. So it's a little bit of give and take. So with those two made, we're going to want to get an MFE eventually. We could actually get an MFSU. MFSU. These guys are tier 4. We would need, that's nasty, bunch of Lapotron crystals, bunch of circuits. So that's terrible to craft. But if we did, we'd have power tier 4. Would actually send out more power even through transformers. It's kind of weird. AC2 uses a system that's like packets, and it sends like, so this guy sends out packets of 512 to each machine per tick, and even though it goes through an MV transformer, it just turns those 512 packets into 128. So what is that, like 4? So it turns them into 4 packets or something like that, and it can go to each machine the same amount. So it's more efficient if you have higher tier and then you drop it down, I believe. But like you still get the same amount of power. This is still providing 512 to everything as it needs it. But if we turn this off, we can kind of see. So it's actually going to be increasing because of this guy. And by the way, the nuclear reactors last forever. it takes like hours upon hours to run one of those dry. So it's going to be a while before we get to the advanced generators, but once we do, it's going to be nice. So yeah, as you can see, it's going down pretty slowly, but it's sending only what it needs, I think, or I don't know. But anyways, I think, honestly, I think that's about going to be it for this episode. We can take a look at what we're going to be making next. So to go with the EU, or the UU matter, and the Mass Fabricator, we're going to need the replicator, we're going to need pattern storage, and we're going to need the scanner. So the replicator is what makes the items. Reinforced stone. You know what? Let's see if we can't make reinforced stone real quick. We're gonna need the pattern storage, which triggers the next age, which is why we have that machine frame. I haven't used it yet. This is not a terrible recipe other than the reinforced stone. We'll get to that here soon. So this stores the patterns for the items. The replicator makes the items, and the scanner scans the items so that you can get the patterns. So you need the scanner to. So you use the scanner on whatever item, it destroys the item, and it gives you a pattern that says it uses this much this much UU matter to produce. Then you put the pattern in the pattern storage, and so long as that is touching the replicator can see all the patterns in the storage, and you can kind of tell it what to make. You provide it with power and UU matter, and it does what you need. So that's kind of the idea behind it all. We'll be making those relatively soon. Hopefully next episode. I will try to get most of the stuff ready. I need to go get some more copper, and I'll kind of figure out just how much of all the stuff we need, so we don't have to like spend too much time going back and forth trying to get items or anything. Now, in order to get the reinforced stone, we need a CF sprayer. These guys are iron item casings and universal cell. Okay. So that's not too bad. In fact, we're going to go ahead and grab these. I didn't mean to do that, but we're just going to grab all this stuff. And I should have some iron that I can use. Nothing major over here, so there's one iron item casing here. That's a dense iron plate. Do I really not have any more iron over here? Yuck. Alright, so we'll have to go grab another piece of iron. And we can make the CF. Oops, I put iron in there for some reason. So we need to make the CF sprayer. And that is the construction foam sprayer. We'll also need to make construction foam. Imagine that. It's not that bad to do. And the idea behind it is pretty simple, actually. So we'll get these guys some power so they fill up this guy, and then they'll backstop. This guy will eventually backstop, and we'll want to get overclockers to make this stuff go faster, but we'll worry about that later. We need iron plate made into another iron plate, well, rolled again, and we'll make the CF sprayer. Now, to use the CF sprayer, we need to get construction foam. And unfortunately, there's not a recipe for it, so hopefully I can remember. But it is in here, drain from cell, fluid and rich. So I believe it is we take this. Oh no, it's the, we need CF powder as well. So we need this stuff, which is just stones, clay, and sand. Pretty straightforward. And then we need a little bit of water. And I've got to remember how to do this. It's been a while, to be honest, so we have some CF powder because we were using it for other things. I'm going to just throw that in there. Is there anything that this is used for? Stone dust. I think you have to have stone dust for that, so we'll keep a little bit of it. I was also throwing it in with the calculator stuff because they are ore dictionary, sorta, and it doesn't really matter too much. So let's grab 1, 2. We'll do 2 things of water. And can't we just... Yeah, there we go. And CF powder. And then that will create the CF foam. And we should be able to... Actually, let's wait until we make the CF sprayer. And I think... Fluid enrich... We'll see if that works. I don't know if it will. If it will automatically fill that up. We'll see here in a second. So it takes the water and a little bit of the CF powder and gives us construction foam. Now I have to remember, let's do at industrial. Is there any, like, do we have to do a frame or can we just spray it? I don't remember. But seeing as I don't see like a frame or anything like that, I think we can just spray it. So let's find out. This stuff is, yeah, construction foam. It's really cool. It's also, oh, that's construction foam wall. I don't actually want this stuff. That is not what I need to do. So now it's empty. Let's get 3 more things of water. I don't know why it went in there. What is it that we need to use? I don't remember. So that in there and then that. Oh, is it... I think it might be iron fences. I really wish there was a way. Let's see if the guide actually tells us. Because it's been a while since I've done this, and I don't remember. Nuclear age. So iridium plates. Recycler. Let's see. Not seeing anything there. Bees and tree breeding. Yeah, I need to get back on that a little bit. I think it's the iron plates. Nuclear reactor. You can also make, yeah. Let me see if I can... see how to do this. So I think we need, I know we need the CF foam, so we have that again. Unfortunately this construction foam is not useful at all, but hey, we have a recycler. We can actually use that to get rid of it. And iron scaffolding, that's what we need. So I literally just looked it up. It is iron scaffolding from IC2. So we need iron fences and 3, 6. Well, actually, let's not do it this way. Let's just go get a block of the stuff, and we just need to spray our CF sprayer onto iron scaffolding. So that's how we do it. Let's go ahead and do that real quick, and I'll show you why I want to do that off camera. It's not going to be fun for me, but we have a bunch of scrap. Eventually we'll get this stuff all powered up. That's kind of the motif of this mod pack is you do something and you do it very basically and you just very barely scrape by, and then later you'll make it better. So there's that. Let's take 3 of those, and to get the iron fences, it's we take those, turn them into the plates, and then we crush them again. Now we don't need that many reinforced stone. I don't know how useful reinforced stone is. If we want draconium infused obsidian, we'll need a lot of it. Lanceolite reinforced. Basically anything that's witherproof, we'll need to go that way. We might not need to go that way for anything because there's another way to make things witherproof that we'll look at later. It's going to use power, which is terrible, but it's going to use nothing else really. And it's kind of cool. Spoiler, it's force fields. So let's see, we have a bunch of carbon plates. We have just a bunch of stuff in our inventory that we need those. We can deal with later. And yeah, so once we get this all taken care of, we'll come back in the next episode and make a bunch of new machines so that we can start using this, the UU matter, and hopefully things go well. So just do something like this and spray it, and it will slowly dry. It's completely random, I do believe, but I can make more, so I might go get another piece of iron ore. I am going to go mining and probably deal with a lot of the ores, get just a bunch of blocks of everything between episodes, because why not? It gives me something to do, especially while we're making UU matter, because that's always fun. So this will take a little bit to dry. It's not the quickest of things. Go ahead and cut that block up. We'll make some more. And here soon it should be done. And yeah, reinforced construction foam makes reinforced stone. So it takes forever to dry too. This stuff doesn't break easily. That's what I'm kind of getting to. It will actually stop a nuclear explosion, which is really useful if you are using a dangerous configuration. But since I'm not, it's not too important. Let's be smart about this. So 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Now the iron scaffolding, I didn't really say anything about this, but the reason it's useful and good is because you can build it out with it, and then if you break the base, they all break. So we can do this and that one went immediately. So just to kind of demonstrate, this stuff takes forever to break. Using our drill, it's still pretty bad. It's not that bad, but it's still pretty bad. I'm going to get a little bit more CF powder. And what I'm going to do is, between episodes, I'm going to go mining. I am going to... Oh my gosh. I am going to go... Why can't I do that? I guess let's just grab a fluid thing, a universal cell, and we'll do it like this. Oh yeah, those move in water, I forgot. So it's just one of those things that I need to go mining, and we're going to kind of focus on trying to make the rest of the UU stuff in the next episode and go from there. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm gonna have some fun breaking this stuff. Those guys have already hardened, so once this all hardens, I'll just go ahead and break it with my drill. It won't be terrible. It'll be pretty bad, but it won't be terrible. And next time we'll make the replicator, scanner, and pattern storage. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!